Golden, crispy, and bursting with flavor, KFC's crispy tenders are a worldwide sensation. But have you ever wondered, how are they actually made? From the carefully selected chicken farms to the high-tech fryers that lock in crunchiness, today we're taking you inside a real factory to reveal how KFC's crispy tenders are made at scale. And trust me, it's not just about breading and frying. There's a scientific process, a secret blend of ingredients, and precision cooking methods that make KFC's tenders one of the most crave-worthy fast food items ever. But here's the real question. What makes KFC's crispy tenders different from regular fried chicken? Is it the special herbs and spices, the double breading technique, or the industrial-grade frying method? Stay with me, because today we're uncovering insider secrets straight from the factory floor. Before we begin, let me know in the comments, what's your go-to KFC order? Are you a crispy tenders fan, or do you go for the classic bucket? Now, let's head to the very beginning of the process, the farms where KFC's journey starts. Before KFC's crispy tenders ever reach your plate, their journey begins on carefully managed poultry farms. These farms follow strict standards to ensure quality, consistency, and ethical treatment of the chickens. Unlike cramped factory farming, KFC's poultry suppliers focus on free-roaming conditions inside climate-controlled barns. Chickens are raised in stress-free environments because healthy chickens equals better quality meat. To meet KFC's global standards, farmers use advanced nutrition plans, providing the birds with a balanced diet rich in grains, vitamins, and minerals. This ensures the meat stays tender and juicy. Fresh, clean water is always available, and special monitoring systems track their growth and health in real time. Once the chickens reach the perfect weight, typically between 6 to 8 weeks old, they are carefully collected using soft suction vacuum machines. These machines ensure gentle handling to reduce stress, unlike traditional rough manual collection. The entire process is designed to be ethical and efficient, keeping the chickens calm and comfortable to maintain meat quality. But raising healthy chickens is just the beginning. The real transformation begins at the processing plant, where science and precision turn fresh poultry into the crispiest, juiciest tenders you've ever tasted. Did you know that the way chickens are raised impacts the taste of fried chicken? Drop a comment if you think farm conditions make a difference in food quality. Now that the chickens have arrived at the processing plant, precision, hygiene, and efficiency take center stage. Every step is carefully monitored and optimized to ensure that each tender meets the golden standard of KFC's crispy perfection. Upon arrival, the chickens go through a strict quality control process. Workers inspect the birds for any health issues, abnormalities, or damage. Only the best quality chickens move forward in the process. High-tech scanners assist in identifying any inconsistencies in weight, size, or quality, ensuring that only premium-grade poultry is selected for further processing. Before processing begins, KFC suppliers follow strict animal welfare protocols. The chickens are humanely stunned using an advanced electrical water bath system, ensuring they are completely unconscious before further steps. This pain-free process is designed to minimize stress and adhere to international ethical food production standards. Once stunned, the chickens move to high-speed automated butchering machines. These advanced robotic systems make precise cuts, ensuring minimal waste while maintaining perfectly portioned pieces. Instead of manual cutting, these machines use laser-guided blades to separate each part with extreme accuracy. This ensures consistency in every single KFC tender. The machine first removes the wings, thighs, and legs, but the star of the show, the boneless chicken breast. These are the key ingredients for KFC's famous crispy tenders. But before these tenders get their crispy golden coating, they go through a fascinating tenderizing and marination process that locks in their juicy flavor. How do you think precision cutting technology impacts food quality? Let us know in the comments. Now that the chicken has been perfectly portioned, it's time for the next crucial step, infusing flavor and moisture deep into every tender. KFC's secret, a carefully engineered marination process that ensures every bite is juicy, flavorful, and crispy once fried. The first step in the marination process is brining. This isn't just any brine, it's a carefully crafted blend of salt, water, and proprietary seasonings that penetrate the chicken and enhance its natural juiciness. Some factories inject the brine into the meat using precision-controlled needles, ensuring even distribution of moisture and flavor. This technique is what makes the tenders extra succulent while preventing them from drying out during frying. Next comes the magic dust, KFC's legendary blend of spices and seasonings. While the exact recipe remains one of the most closely guarded secrets in the food industry, we do know it includes a mix of paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, and black pepper, plus some special ingredients that give KFC tenders their unmistakable taste. The chicken pieces are placed into a large seasoning drum, where they are gently tossed and massaged to ensure an even coating of flavor. This process guarantees that every tender is packed with the iconic KFC taste we all know and love. This seasoning doesn't just sit on the surface, the tumbling action helps the flavors infuse into the meat, making them taste just as good on the inside as they do on the outside. Once the tenders are fully seasoned, they aren't cooked right away. Instead, they are left to rest for a specific amount of time, allowing the flavors to fully absorb into the meat. This resting period is essential because it locks in moisture, ensures even seasoning, and gives the chicken that signature tenderness. Some factories use special temperature-controlled rooms to allow the marination process to work without spoiling the meat, ensuring perfect texture and taste every time. What do you think is the secret ingredient in KFC's spice blend? Drop your best guess in the comments. Now that the chicken has absorbed all the flavors, it's time to give it that iconic crispy texture. The breading and battering process is what turns KFC's tenders into golden, crunchy perfection. And believe it or not, there's a science to every step. The first layer of crispiness starts with a light dusting of seasoned flour. This isn't just regular flour, it's a special mix of wheat flour, cornstarch, and secret spices that help lock in the flavors from the marination process while creating a dry surface for the batter to stick to. Each tender is gently tossed by hand or machine, ensuring every piece gets an even coating. The flour mix helps absorb excess moisture, preventing the batter from sliding off during frying. Next comes the batter dip. Unlike traditional frying methods, KFC's crispy tenders get coated in a special buttermilk-based batter. This isn't just for taste, it creates the perfect glue for the final layer of crispy coating. This step ensures that the breading sticks to the chicken without flaking off, leading to that satisfying crunch with every bite. Did you know? The buttermilk in the batter also acts as a natural tenderizer, keeping the meat juicy and soft even after deep frying. Now here's where the real magic happens. KFC's crispy tenders go through the legendary 7-10-7 hand breading technique. Every tender is pressed into the seasoned flour mix 7 times, then lifted and shaken 10 times to create layers of flaky, textured breading. Finally, it's pressed again 7 times before moving on to frying. This layering technique creates that signature craggy texture that makes KFC's tenders stand out from the rest. Even with modern automation, KFC still relies on this hand breading method to maintain consistency and quality. No two tenders look exactly the same, but they all have that unmistakable crunch. Now that the tenders have been carefully breaded and coated, it's time for the most critical stage, frying. This is where the flavor, texture, and crunch all come together to create the perfect crispy tender. But frying KFC's tenders isn't as simple as just dropping them into oil. Every step is precisely controlled for consistency and quality. The oil is heated to a precise temperature, typically between 350 degrees Fahrenheit and 375 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 degrees Celsius to 190 degrees Celsius. This sweet spot is crucial because too hot and the tenders burn on the outside while staying raw inside. Too low and they absorb too much oil, becoming greasy instead of crispy. To ensure perfect cooking, high-tech automated fryers constantly adjust the temperature so that every batch is fried to perfection. Frying at the right temperature locks in moisture while creating that iconic golden brown, crispy crust. The tenders are slowly lowered into the oil in batches, making sure each piece has enough space to cook evenly. As soon as they hit the oil, you hear that iconic sizzling sound. That sound means the moisture inside the chicken is rapidly turning into steam, creating pressure that pushes oil away from the meat. This is the secret to keeping the inside juicy while the outside turns crispy. The tenders are fried for exactly 4 to 5 minutes, ensuring a golden, crispy shell while keeping the chicken inside tender and juicy. After frying, the tenders are immediately placed onto cooling racks to drain excess oil. This prevents them from becoming greasy and helps keep the coating light and crisp. This step is crucial because too much oil can make the tenders soggy over time. The goal is to create that perfect balance of crunch on the outside and juicy tenderness on the inside. Ever wondered why KFC tenders stay crispy longer than homemade fried chicken? It's because of this precise draining process and the double-layered coating technique. At KFC, consistency is everything. Every tender that makes it to your plate has passed a rigorous quality control process. But what exactly happens between frying and packaging? Let's take a closer look at how KFC ensures that every single crispy tender meets the gold standard. Before any tender moves forward, it undergoes a strict visual and texture inspection. Workers carefully check for size, shape, crispiness, and golden brown color. If a piece is overcooked, undercooked, or misshapen, it doesn't make the cut. One of the best indicators of quality, that signature crunch. Workers even do a tap test to make sure every piece has the perfect crisp to tender ratio. On average, only 9 out of 10 tenders make it past this strict quality control process. Every KFC tender must meet a specific weight range to ensure fair portions for every customer. That's where high-speed weighing machines come in, ensuring that no one gets shortchanged on their crispy, juicy tenders. If a portion is even a few grams too heavy or light, the system automatically corrects it, so every order is exactly as it should be. KFC's automated portioning system can process over 3,000 tenders per hour while maintaining perfect accuracy. Now it's time to get these crispy tenders into their final destination: packaging. Whether they're heading to a restaurant near you or being prepared for delivery, KFC has a specialized system to keep them fresh, hot, and crispy. The tenders are carefully placed in ventilated packaging, allowing steam to escape without making the coating soggy. This is how KFC tenders stay crispy even after delivery. Ever notice the tiny holes in KFC's takeout boxes? They're designed to keep air circulating so your tenders stay crispy from the fryer to your table. At this point, the KFC crispy tenders are perfectly cooked, checked for quality, and packed up. But how do they get from the factory to your local KFC restaurant while staying fresh, crispy, and delicious? It's all about precision logistics. Let's take a look at how KFC ensures you get the same perfectly crispy tenders every single time. Once packed, the crispy tenders are stored in temperature-controlled warehouses to ensure they stay at the optimal texture and flavor. KFC has strict storage protocols. The tenders must be kept at a precise temperature to maintain their signature juiciness and crunch. Too warm, and they risk becoming soggy. Too cold, and the texture is affected. KFC's logistics system can track every single batch of tenders in real time, ensuring that they stay fresh and are delivered within the perfect time frame. After storage, the tenders are loaded into temperature-controlled delivery trucks and sent to hundreds of KFC locations across the region. These trucks are designed to maintain optimal conditions to preserve the quality of the tenders. Every truck is equipped with GPS tracking and temperature sensors to ensure that no batch spends too much time on the road, so every order arrives fresh and ready to fry. KFC's supply chain is so efficient that restaurants receive fresh batches of tenders multiple times a week, never frozen, always fresh. Once the crispy tenders arrive at your local KFC, they go through one final step: fresh in-house preparation. Unlike fast food that relies on frozen, pre-cooked items, KFC tenders are prepared fresh at the restaurant. They're hand-breaded, seasoned, and fried to order, ensuring that every bite is just as crispy and flavorful as intended. KFC's famous 11 herbs and spices are still hand-mixed daily at each location to ensure authentic flavor in every batch. This is the moment of truth. All the sourcing, preparation, and logistics lead to this final step, the frying process that gives KFC's tenders their legendary crunch. But it's not as simple as just tossing them into hot oil. There's a science behind it, and today, we're going to break it down for you. To achieve the perfect crispy texture, KFC maintains its fryers at a precise temperature. If it's too hot, the outside burns before the inside cooks. Too cool, and the tenders absorb too much oil, making them greasy instead of crispy. That's why every KFC fryer is set between 335 degrees Fahrenheit to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 168 degrees Celsius to 177 degrees Celsius. The golden range for perfect frying. KFC's fryers are automatically calibrated throughout the day to maintain consistent oil quality, ensuring every tender is cooked to perfection. Now, the real magic happens. The tenders are lowered into the fryer and immediately start sizzling as the moisture in the breading reacts with the oil. This is what creates that famous crispy, golden brown exterior. Each tender is fried for exactly 4 to 5 minutes, ensuring the inside stays juicy while the outside forms a perfectly crisp crust. The secret to KFC's crunch is high-pressure frying. Instead of traditional open frying, some locations use pressure fryers, which help lock in moisture while still delivering that crispy bite. Once the tenders reach that iconic golden brown color, they are lifted from the fryer and placed on special drying racks to allow any excess oil to drain away. This resting period isn't just about oil, it actually enhances the crunch. Allowing the tenders to cool for just 60 seconds gives the breading time to firm up, locking in that crispy texture. KFC's resting method ensures the coating stays crisp for up to 20 minutes after frying, so your tenders stay crunchy from the kitchen to your table. At this point, the tenders look and smell mouthwatering, but before they can be served to customers, they must pass one final test, the quality check. Because at KFC, not all tenders make the cut. Each crispy tender is carefully examined by trained food inspectors. They're looking for 3 key things: perfect golden brown color. If a tender is too dark or too pale, it gets rejected. Even coating and texture. If the breading didn't stick properly, it won't be served. Proper size and shape. Misshapen tenders, or ones that broke apart in the fryer, are discarded. Only tenders that meet KFC's gold standard move on to the next stage. KFC has a strict quality benchmark. If a tender doesn't meet their visual and texture standards, it won't be served. Instead, it may be repurposed for other dishes or discarded. But looks aren't everything. Every tender must also be cooked to perfection. Food safety inspectors randomly select pieces and test their internal temperature to make sure it's safe to eat. Each tender must reach at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit to ensure food safety and juiciness. If it falls below this mark, the entire batch is rejected. KFC performs hundreds of temperature checks daily across all locations to maintain their high-quality standards. Believe it or not, KFC also listens to their tenders. Workers perform a break test to check for the signature crispy crunch. If the tender doesn't crackle when broken in half, it may have absorbed too much oil or been overcooked, meaning it won't be served. Crispy sounds trigger cravings in the brain, so when you hear that crunch, your body instinctively wants to take a bite. Now that only the best, crispiest, and juiciest tenders have made the cut, how does KFC ensure they stay hot and fresh before they reach your plate? The answer lies in KFC's specialized holding system, a key part of their quality control that ensures every bite is as good as the last. Right after passing the quality check, KFC's crispy tenders are placed into high-tech holding cabinets. But these aren't just any warmers. These are designed to keep the tenders at the perfect temperature and crispness without drying them out. Precise temperature control. The cabinets maintain a consistent temperature between 160 degrees Fahrenheit to 180 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to keep them fresh, but not overcooked. Moisture management. A humidity control system prevents the tenders from becoming dry or soggy. Unlike heat lamps, which can make food rubbery, KFC's holding cabinets use a combination of warmth and airflow to preserve that signature crispy crunch. To maintain quality, every batch of tenders has a strict time limit in the holding cabinet. If a tender isn't served within a set window, usually 20 to 30 minutes, it gets removed and discarded. No batch is kept longer than necessary. Every order is guaranteed to have a just-cooked taste. That means when you get your KFC crispy tenders, they've never been sitting for hours. You're getting the freshest batch possible. KFC loses thousands of tenders daily by discarding food that doesn't meet their strict freshness window. But they'd rather do that than serve anything less than perfect. Before tenders are packed into your order, they go through a short resting phase. This is done for one key reason: to let the juices redistribute while ensuring the coating remains light, crispy, and intact. Why this matters? Too soon? The coating may still be slightly unstable, causing it to fall off. Too late? The chicken might lose moisture. Just right? You get the perfect balance of crunch and juiciness in every bite. Resting isn't just for steak. Even fried chicken needs a brief rest period to maximize its juiciness and texture. At this point, the tenders are golden, crispy, and ready to eat. But here's the challenge. How does KFC ensure that every order reaches you hot, fresh, and crispy, whether you're dining in or taking it home? It all comes down to carefully engineered packaging and an efficient delivery system. Let's break it down. Ever ordered fried chicken only to find it steamed itself into a soggy mess? That's why KFC doesn't just use any box. Their packaging is specifically designed to keep your tenders hot and crispy without trapping too much moisture. Vented lids. Small perforations on the lid allow steam to escape so the tenders don't get soggy. Airflow circulation. The box is structured to create air gaps, ensuring heat stays in while moisture exits. Perfect sizing. The tenders fit snugly inside. Too much space and they move around, causing breakage. Too little and they lose crispiness. KFC tested multiple box designs before settling on one that keeps food fresh for up to 30 minutes without losing crispiness. Whether you're ordering in-store or through delivery, every KFC order passes through a precise heat management system. This ensures that by the time you take a bite, it's still hot and fresh, just like in the restaurant. Heat holding areas. Before being picked up, orders are kept under heat lamps at a controlled temperature of around 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Hot enough to maintain freshness, but not dry out the chicken. Special insulated delivery bags. KFC's delivery partners use thermal bags designed to retain heat without trapping excess moisture. Optimized routes for fast delivery. KFC's delivery system prioritizes shorter routes and batch deliveries to minimize time between pickup and drop-off. KFC's insulated bags can keep food warm for up to 45 minutes, giving you plenty of time to enjoy it without reheating. Before the food leaves the restaurant, one last quality check happens. Workers confirm that every order meets KFC's strict freshness standards. Final quality control includes checking for crispiness. If the tenders have been sitting too long, they get replaced. Confirming order accuracy, ensuring the correct items are in the bag, no missing fries or sauces, securing the packaging. Boxes are sealed tightly to maintain freshness during transit. If a batch doesn't meet KFC's standards, they remake the order from scratch, ensuring every bite is as good as the first. We've followed the journey of KFC crispy tenders from farm to fryer to packaging, but let's be real. What really matters is the taste. So what makes these tenders so irresistibly delicious? Today, we're breaking down the science of flavor, texture, and that famous KFC seasoning blend. The seasoning inside KFC's batter is one of the biggest food mysteries in the world. While we may not know exactly what's inside, we do know one thing. It's this unique blend of 11 herbs and spices that gives KFC tenders their signature taste. What we know about the secret recipe? Savory base, salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and MSG for that umami-rich depth. Herb kick, basil, thyme, oregano, and parsley for a fresh, aromatic touch. Spice boost, black pepper, white pepper, and a hint of paprika for that gentle heat. KFC's original recipe is so heavily guarded that they keep it locked in a secure vault. Ever wondered why crispy foods are so satisfying? Science has the answer. Our brains love crunch. It creates a sensory experience that keeps us coming back for more. How KFC gets that perfect crunch? Double breading. That flour-egg-flour technique creates a multi-layered crunch that stays crispy even after frying. High heat frying. KFC uses exact oil temperatures to lock in juiciness while crisping the outer layer. Frying. Unlike regular deep frying, pressure frying forces flavors deeper into the meat, making the tenders juicy inside but crispy outside. Crispy sounds actually make food taste better. That's why commercials crank up the crunch sound in their ads. It makes you crave it even more. A lot of fried chicken dries out when cooked too long, but KFC's tenders stay moist and juicy. Why? Because of two crucial steps in their process. How they keep it juicy? Brining before battering. The tenders soak in a special salt solution before breading, locking in moisture. Flash frying. The outer layer crisps up quickly, sealing the juices inside while preventing overcooking. Resting after cooking. Instead of serving immediately, KFC lets the tenders rest for a few minutes to let the juices settle inside. KFC's tenders are designed to retain 20% more moisture than traditional fried chicken, keeping them soft and juicy bite after bite. Sauces aren't just extra flavor. They actually change how your brain experiences food. The contrast between crispy tenders and creamy, tangy, or spicy dips keeps every bite exciting. KFC's most popular sauces: Zinger sauce, spicy, creamy, and tangy, perfect for heat lovers. Honey mustard, the ultimate sweet and tangy balance. Garlic parmesan, for a buttery, garlicky richness. Buffalo sauce, a fiery kick with vinegar tang. Dipping actually slows down eating, allowing you to savor flavors more. That's why your favorite dips make food even more enjoyable. We've followed the entire journey of KFC's crispy tenders, from farm to fryer, from packaging to taste test. But now, let's answer the big question. Is KFC's crispy tender the ultimate fast food fried chicken? Everyone has their favorite fried chicken, but we're breaking it down scientifically using 3 key factors: crispiness, juiciness, and flavor. Let's see how KFC crispy tenders compare. Crispiness, how crunchy is it? Why it stands out? Double breading process creates layers of crunch. Pressure frying locks in crispiness without overcooking. Stays crispy longer than most fried chicken. KFC's tenders definitely nail the crunch factor. Each bite has that perfect crisp that makes it incredibly satisfying. Juiciness. Does it stay moist inside? What makes it juicy? Brining locks in moisture before cooking. High-temp flash frying seals the juices inside. Resting time after frying prevents dryness. KFC's tenders pass the juiciness test with flying colors. The inside stays tender and moist, never dry or overcooked. Flavor. Is it worth the hype? What sets it apart? Secret 11. Herb and spice blend for signature taste. Savory umami depth with a hint of spice. Pairs perfectly with sauces like Zinger, honey mustard, and buffalo. KFC's tenders are packed with flavor. Even without sauce, they deliver that classic KFC taste that fans love. Fast food fried chicken has some tough competition. Let's compare KFC to other major brands and see where it stands. When comparing KFC crispy tenders to Popeyes, Popeyes has the advantage of offering bigger, meatier tenders with a bold and spicy Cajun seasoning. On the other hand, KFC brings a smoother, more balanced flavor with a crispier coating that stays crunchy for longer. Against Chick-fil-A, KFC offers a more traditional fried chicken taste. While Chick-fil-A's tenders are hand-breaded with a slightly softer crunch and a buttermilk brine sweetness, KFC delivers a better crunch factor with a well-seasoned blend that keeps it classic. When it comes to McDonald's buttermilk tenders, McDonald's stands out for its rich, smooth buttermilk flavor and uniform shape. However, KFC has the edge with its more natural, hand-breaded texture and superior crunch. So, which one is the best? It all comes down to personal preference. If you love bold spice, Popeyes wins. If you want milder, buttermilk sweetness, Chick-fil-A shines. But if you crave classic, crispy fried chicken with a signature spice blend, KFC holds its own as an icon. At the end of the day, great food isn't just about taste, it's about value. So, would we buy KFC crispy tenders again? In the final breakdown, KFC's texture stands out with a crispy, crunchy, and well-breaded coating, earning it a solid 9 out of 10. The flavor is just as impressive, with a balanced seasoning and that signature KFC kick, also scoring a 9 out of 10. When it comes to juiciness, KFC delivers moist and tender chicken, though Popeyes has a slight edge in this category. For that reason, it gets an 8.5 out of 10. Overall, KFC remains a must-try for fried chicken lovers. With its satisfying crunch, bold flavor, and classic appeal, it earns a strong 9 out of 10 for overall satisfaction. KFC crispy tenders are a solid choice for anyone who loves fried chicken. Whether you're dipping it in sauce or eating it on its own, it delivers on flavor, crunch, and satisfaction. Definitely worth trying. Now it's time for you to decide. Which fried chicken tenders are your favorite? Are you Team KFC, Team Popeyes, or Team Chick-fil-A? Let us know in the comments below. And if you love this behind-the-scenes look at how your favorite foods are made, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode.